Hello, I would like to introduce to you the group members of this project. First, we have me, Rose Azarina, Adriana Amani, Nurul Almas, Liana Mardia, and Sharmin Alia.
Hi, my name is Nurul Almas binti Saini.
Hi, my name is Liana Mardia binti Suhaidi.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Sharmin Alia binti Saiful Akmar.
Hi, my name is Nur Adriana Amani binti Muhammad Ramzan.
Larsa Bookstore Book Sales Program is an online shopping website that assists customers in choosing and purchasing books according to the preferences and genres of books they have chosen. Customers were required to include their name, address, and email. The postage fee for the customers from Peninsular Malaysia is 8 ringgit, whilst the postage fee for customers from Sabah and Sarawak is 12 ringgit. The book preferences displayed in this program are novels, comics, and education. For each of the preferences, customers can choose the genres they want. The genres available for novels and comics are romance, thriller, horror, fantasy, and young adult. Other than that, the educational subjects available on this website include biology, mathematics, history, and chemistry. Customers can also choose the number of books they want to purchase. Larsa Bookstore provides 20% off discounts for non-members and an extra 5% discount for members of Larsa Bookstore. Lastly, a receipt for the customer's details, title, number of books, and the total price of books purchased is validated. Then, the order details will be sent to the customer's email. One of the objectives of this project is to design a program for Larsa Bookstore's online shopping website, thus applying coding knowledge in this project. This is done by using the computer programming language C++. Besides that, it is also to display different preferences and genres of book, allowing the customers to choose and purchase according to their desire. Next, the program also allows calculation of the total price of books along with the discounts as well as the postage fee. Last but not least, the project aims to generate a receipt with the order details of the customers.
Moving on to the next part, that is the table of book selection. We have three preferences. They are novel, comic book, and education. For the first one, novel, we have 5 genres. They are romance, thriller, horror, fantasy, and young adult. Next, we have comic books. It has 5 genres. They are romance, thriller, horror, fantasy, and young adult. Lastly, we have education books. It has 4 genres. They are biology, mathematics, history, and chemistry.
First of all, our bookstore name is Larsa Bookstore. We will compile a system for online shopping using C++ device. Based on this flowchart, when the user started to use to start our system, the compiler will ask the user the name, address, state, email, answer, preference, genre, number, membership number, membership, and quantity of book. This is the type of input that the compiler will ask the user to insert. Then the compiler will ask the user whether to start whether to shopping with us or not. When user insert Y for yes, the compiler will proceed to the type of book that the user want to buy. But if the user insert N for no, the compiler will directly go to thank you, which is means that the end of the system. We use if else selection control on this section. After that, the switch control selection is used to choose the type of book that they want to buy. User needs to insert N for novel, C for comic, and E for education. So the user have to choose one preference first, and then they can add another preference, because the switch will ask whether to continue shopping or directly go to total payment and get the receipt. After the user completed choosing the books, the compiler will ask the user whether they have a membership or not. But before continuing to membership, I will explain on the second page, which is the selection under each preference. This means under the preference, they have its own genre. Switch control selection is also used for the user to choose the genre for each book. Switch control selection is also used for the user to choose the genre for each book. Under every genre, the user can choose one of 5 books that listed. They have to insert the number in the range. If the user insert the number besides in the range, the compiler will display invalid number because only number in the range is declared using an array. Next, user can also input or enter the quantity of book that they want to buy. After one book is selected, they can choose whether to continue shopping or just directly go to receipt payment. For preference C and E on the 3rd page and 4th page, the system used is also the same as the preference N at the 2nd page. User can enter the genre of the book that they want and choose the books that under the range of the number. And then the compiler will calculate the amount and the total of books that bought by the user. After one book is selected, they can choose whether to continue shopping or just directly go to receipt payment. For preference C and E on the 3rd page and 4th page, the system used is also the same as the preference N at the 2nd page. User can enter the genre of the book that they want and choose the books that under the range of the number. And then the compiler will calculate the amount and the total of books that bought by the user. On the last page, we can see the membership is the continuous from the first page. After all the book is chosen, the compiler will ask the user whether they have a membership or not. If the user have a membership, they will get a 25% discount. But if not a membership, user will only get 20% discount. Afterward, the compiler will calculate the price after discount and the total price which is the addition of price after discount and shipping cost. Lastly, the compiler will display the receipt of the payment, which include name, email, membership number, address, list of book bought by the user, quantity of book, and the total price that user have to pay. Thank you.
We begin this program with the predefined functions. This is one of the basic rules in programming. Without the predefined function, there will be a syntax error. Next is the abbreviation of standard along with the function prototype that was used to calculate the discount. Below the integer main is a curly braces that contains all the variables that have been declared. Next, we see out a welcome sentence for the customers. This sentence will be shown in the output. Then, the program will ask the customers to type in their name, address, date, and email. Subsequently, the program will ask the customers if they would like to shop with Larsa bookstore.
For this program, we use the if-else selection structure. If answer equals to y, the program will start the for loop structure where integer I equals to 0, I less than 100, and I plus plus. And for this program, the repetition structure that is used is while loop structure. While answer not equal to n, the looping process will not stop until the n is entered. So until then, the program will see out the preference n code, see out the novel n, see out comic C, see out education E, and see out select your preference by entering the code where the user need to enter their preference by the code, which is N, C, or E, and then C in the preference. After that, the selection structure is used again. The selection structure is switch structure, where switch preference it will appear the case N for novel, case C for comic, and case E for education. For example, if the user enter the case N, it will see out the genre and code, see out the romance R, see out thriller T, see out horror H, see out fantasy F, see out young adult Y, and see out enter genre, so that user can see in the genre that they would like to see the list of the book. So after they enter the genre they like, the switch structure is used again, where switch genre will appear the case for each genre. Case R for romance, case T for thriller, case H for horror, case F for fantasy, and case Y for young adult. For example, if the user enter the case R for romance, it will see out the list of the books for romance novel. Then it will see out the notebook, Nicholas Sparks, RM39.90, see out 2, Like Water for Chocolate, Laura, RM14.90, see out 3, It Ends With Us, a novel, Colin Hoover, RM33, see out 4, Beautiful Disaster, J.W. McWhirr, RM36.50, and 5, Pride and Prejudice, Jane Austen, RM38.90. And then the program will see out enter novel number, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, and the user need to enter the number, see in the number, and the program will see out enter quantity for the user to see in the quantity they would like of the book that they have entered before, the novel number. And then the if structure is used again. If number more than or equal to 1 and number less than or equal to 5, price 1 equals to price number minus 1 times with quantity. So then if else number is used again, if number equals to 1, select book I will equal to the notebook Nicholas Sparks, and select quantity I equals to quantity, select price I equal to price 1, and count array plus and break. The same structure will repeat until the last books that are in the list of the genre. If the user entered the wrong number other than that is displayed for the genre, it will see out the invalid number. After that, the same thing repeated again and again for thriller genre, horror genre, fantasy genre, and young adult genre. And lastly, you will have a break to show that it is the end of the switch structure for case N for the novel. Then for case C, the structure is the same with the novel case. It's just that they are different for the list of books. For the case C, we also have the genre and code, and the genre is also the same with the case N, which is romance, thriller, horror, fantasy, and young adult, and they need to enter the genre too, and the system will display the case for the genre that user enter. Case R for romance, T for thriller, H for horror, F for fantasy, Y for young adult, and then at the last we will have a break as the end of the switch structure for case C for the comic.
Okay, next we move on to the next preference, that is education preference. So education have 4 genres. They are biology, represented by B, mathematics, represented by M, history H, chemistry C. So the user will enter the subject and it will see in genre, and we use switch case for this. And for case B, biology, it will see out the number of the book, the title of the book, author, and the price. And 51 until 55 are the numbers within the range given, and the user will enter the book number and he will see a number, and the quantity of the book, the user will enter the quantity. So for this, we use if else, and if the user enter the number within the range, which is 51 to 55, it will execute the price 1 formula. This price 1 formula is taken from the array, and it will multiply the quantity. So if the user enter the incorrect number, it is not within the range, the system will see out invalid number, and it will terminate this switch case. Same goes to mathematics, case M. 56 to 60 is the numbers shown within the range, and these are the books given, and the user will enter the book number and quantity. And if the user enter incorrect number, it will see out invalid number. For H, history, we have 61 to 65. For C, chemistry, we have 66 to 70. And yes, if the user enter invalid number, it will see out invalid number. Next, we move to the loop section where we ask, do you want to select another book? The user will enter yes or no. If the answer is yes, the character Y, it will continue to repeat the same procedure as before, the switch case. But if the user enter N, it will terminate the loop and proceed to the next formula, that is sum equals to sum plus price 1. And this sum formula is for the total of price of the books purchased above. And for this quant book formula, it is for the number of the books purchased.
Alright, so after the user already done choosing their books, there will be a statement displayed after that, which is, are you a member of Larsa bookstore? So right here, there will be a same process which the user have to enter either yes or no, either the character Y or N, and the selection process happen after that. So if the user enter Y, which means they are the member of Larsa bookstore, there will be another statement displayed after that, enter your membership card number. And here is another same process which the user have to enter their membership card number first, and for the member they will be get 25% of discount, while for the others, for the non-member of Larsa bookstore, they will also get a discount but only for 20%. Okay, so right here we have function call for user-defined function, which is return value function. So for function, it must be included with function definition, function prototype or function declaration, function call, and also return statement. So right here, the sum and discount variable in the function call are known as actual parameter, and the sum and discount variable in the function definition are known as formal parameter. So this formal parameter will get the value from the actual parameter, and they will be go through a process to calculate the total discount, and then the value of total discount will be written back to the function call, which will be saved in the price after variable. Okay, next, there is another selection structure right here for this state. So right here, there is no same process because the same process already happened at the beginning of the coding, which is right here. Okay, so if the user is from Semenanjung, Malaysia, the shipping fee will be 8 ringgit only. If the user is from Sabah and Sarawak, the shipping fee will be 12 ringgit. Okay, so here there is another process to calculate the total price using the price after value and the shipping value, the price after value that we get from the function earlier. And lastly, the program will see out all of the information and details that entered by the user. For example, the name, the email, the membership, the address, the name of the book, the quantity of the book, the price of the book. This is by using the array. And also the program will see out total book purchase and the total price of the book. So, and then thank you for shopping with Larsa bookstore, and your order details will be sent to your email. And after that, program terminated.